first reason why nice guys don't finish last is because you're already finishing first in something. And that's being a fucking idiot. And I really could just end the video there because, I mean, boom, that's a sound argument. You're not last, you're first, so...
I like the honesty, but what I don't like is the blame again. You blame the guy for the whole situation. Yes, he is at fault for certain behaviors and certain things, certain beliefs, but again, you can't put the entire blame on the men, and that's what our society loves to do, unfortunately. But let's keep watching.
I'd say 90% of the time that I've ever heard guys say this, it's about like some really hot girl.
Her guess is as good as mine, but I'm gonna highly dispute this 90% thing. I think a lot of guys just are taught that very hot women are out of their leagues already. So most guys are actually not going for really hot women. I think maybe to qualify what Jenna's saying, yes, a lot of these cases, guys are going for women who are maybe slightly more attractive than them or maybe even more attractive than them, but going for really, really hot girls, I think that's a little too strong a statement. And on top of that, I think, especially if you're talking about quote-unquote nice guys, they might not even be going for girls that are as attractive as them. Maybe they're going for girls that aren't as attractive, but they just don't have the confidence to realize how attractive they are.
There's a reason why Beyonce is married to Jay-Z, why Angelina Jolie fucks and sucks Brad Pitt's dick off. I mean, come on. People look for their equal. They like to feel equal in a relationship.
Those two examples are not the same. Jay-Z is not attractive physically, but he sure is talented and rich as fuck. Beyonce is talented and really good looking, but she, I guess, sees the talent and the wealth in Jay-Z. Whereas Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, they got divorced, of course, but when Jenna made this, they were still together, and they're very attractive people, and they're both very talented. So there's a little difference. One has the physical attractiveness that are quote-unquote on par with each other. The other doesn't. This highlights something very, very relevant, which is that a lot of times in these discussions, we really have to define, quote unquote, what women look for and what men look for, right? I think Jenna probably talks about this a lot, but it's very different what women and men look for. And then you could make arguments that it's a distribution. Some men favor certain things, some men favor other things, same with women, etc.
Smart people like other smart people. Funny people like other funny people. People like to have things in fucking common. You're probably very nice, but I know that you have nothing in common with a very good-looking model that is completely obsessed with material belongings and can't hold a conversation with a rock.
Jenna Marbles is pretty known for her kind of bro-ish persona. So I get why she shits on models. I think to really become a model, it's hard. It's not easy to be a successful model. I know quite a few models, and none of them are dumb like Jenna Marbles says. The thing that she isn't getting at, maybe she'll get it later, it's not about smartness or anything or having nothing in common. It's that the more attractive you are as a female, the more likely you're going to want to date upwards and aim higher because your looks can get you farther. So this is a hypergamy problem. It's not about models are dumb and these nice guys are smart and they got nothing in common with them. Most people aren't dumb. Most people, you can find commonalities. It's just hypergamy. She knows she can use her looks. If she doesn't, or she can fuck some Hollywood producer, or she can fuck some hot businessman or some musician or a hedge fund owner or something like that because she knows her looks will just get those people's attentions. So of course she's not going to go for you. I don't know, unless you save her life and then you also use some sort of love potion on her given to you from some fifth dimensional being.
You have nothing in common with her. She dates ridiculously good-looking guys that are also obsessed with material belongings, aka people that you think are douchebags. That's who she has things in common with. That doesn't mean that girls date douchebags and jerks. That means that you don't like her choice of male, and they happen to share a lot of common interests with each other. So good for fucking them.
That is true. Ultimately, and it's not a bad thing. It's just we want to protect our own egos, right? We want to say, oh yeah, they're douchebags. But like she says, we use that term, we hand out that term a little too liberally to describe anyone we don't like because of something. And in this case, it's, oh, they took the girl we were into, so they're douchebags.
You know what reference comes to mind is when the Joker is talking about how I'm just a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. That's you. You are chasing cars, and if you caught one of these fucking hot girls that wants you to buy her Gucci bags and take her out to dinner every fucking night, what kind of fucking relationship is that? A stupid one. What are you gonna do? Take her to your mom's basement and show her how to play fucking Dungeons and Dragons?
I think a guy that's aiming for one of these hot girls that Jenna Marbles is aspiring to be potentially, I don't know why she's so obsessed with hot girls, but I think the guys will bring these women to their basement and show them Dungeons and Dragons and then fuck the shit out of them, because that's what guys want to do. We want to fuck the shit out of women that we're into. So yes, every guy is not chasing a car. He knows what he wants. He wants to fuck the shit out of her. He wants to marry her or whatever. It's just how guys are. Of course, if you watch this channel, be careful when you just want to marry a girl, of course. But like, follow your carnal desires if you want. Just be safe about it. And, you know, make sure it's evidence that she likes you and liked it. So nothing weird gets thrown around in the later.
It's like, no, that girl that you're talking about clearly likes two things in a guy: looks, money. I don't see where nice fits into that list.
But Jenna, all women look for looks and money. It's always in their top 5. Some women, maybe it's 4 and 5, and then their number 1, 2, 3 is different. But it's always gonna be looks and money. That's gonna be part of what they look for in a guy. It almost sounds like, and I don't know if that's intended, but it sounds like you're saying it's only these hot women that you're going for that like the looks and money and prioritize it. Other types of not traditionally hot women might still go for looks and money. So putting the looks and money thing onto these hot women that guys are pursuing, that's not a very good thing to do. What if guys just stop pursuing these hot women and they start pursuing regular women and the women are the same? What's going to happen now?
You're finishing last not because you're nice, because you're attracted to someone for the wrong reasons.
It's called evolution, unfortunately. 200,000 years of human evolution. And we just naturally know the signs of what is fertile. Of course, with makeup, that confounds things. So women who have bad skin or women who have deformities can hide it, but very few cultures differ in certain core criteria of what is considered attractive. You put an attractive woman from Africa or from Asia, from North America, you put them anywhere, in Australia, in Russia, in the Middle East, they'll still be attractive because there are certain universal, it's fewer than people think, but there are certain universal things that we look for that indicate fertility in a woman. So yes, you can tell guys, look, so some of this stuff is outdated, and you know, especially if you're not looking to have children or you're only looking to have one child by C-section, maybe looking for things like wild hips, or did I say wild? Looking for things like wide hips, or you know, things that indicate childbearing capacity, etc., might not be the most important. But that's another conversation for another time that guys have to slowly learn. But to tell guys, oh, it's your fault for being attracted to really attractive women. Well, no, it's not your fault. But it might be your fault if you realize you want other things, like you want to go your own way, but you still can't get over attractive women, you know, and you don't do anything about it, and you just, every time you slip through the cracks, you're like, oh my God.
And in the rare circumstance that a guy actually uses this phrase in a way that might make sense, that's when you really need to turn around and be honest with yourself. This is where you're oversimplifying. Oh, nice guys finish last, that's why you broke up with me. You just can't handle someone being nice to you and treating you how you deserve to be treated and blah blah blah, whatever else their little fucking speech is. Motherfucker, no. I broke up with you because you haven't had a job the entire fucking year that we dated and you're collecting unemployment. It's like having having a baby man-child boyfriend and I can't afford you. I found out you had a gambling problem. I found out you're addicted to heroin. It's hard to hang out with you because you're always at your mom's house because you live there. You got my best friend pregnant. You tried to have sex with my dog that one time. You're not even really that fucking nice.
If we're using the definition that many people use for these nice guys, that, you know, guys who are just a little too pushover, or guys who are just not really that confident, or guys who don't have boundaries, I don't think these are the nice guys that do the things that Jenna Marbles is saying. So Jenna Marbles, I'm just gonna make a wild guess, probably dates assholes, man-childs, etc. These people who maybe use these terms, think they're nice guys, but they're not really nice guys. They're assholes. So yeah, Jenna Marbles, man, I think her current boyfriend seems pretty cool, but maybe in the past, when in her stripper days, she was dating too many assholes. So don't project the assholes you date and their personality onto nice guys. It's not the same. But again, this calls for a bigger discussion over semantics, right? What is a nice guy, etc. So we need to have some sort of Black Law's dictionary, but for relationships. A Jerry's dictionary for, no, fuck that. I don't want my name associated with this bullshit. Jenna's dictionary for relationships, where it's like people have the definitive terms for stuff like friend zone and nice guys and simps, or, I mean, everyone knows what Chad Thundercock is, so we need to define that. But anyways, let's keep watching.
I can promise you that there is a laundry list of reasons why that girl either broke up with you or chose not to date you or doesn't like you. Being nice is like in another book. It's not even on the list. It's not there. There is not a girl on the face of the earth that doesn't like nice people. You know who I really hate? Nice people.
I challenge you on that. If you do a survey and ask them, maybe they'll all say, yeah, I don't have problems. But just watch how they act and then come back and see if you're right or I'm right. Because what they say, what they think, what they do, etc., it's very different. So,
and us girls have it easy in terms of understanding this because we're sexually objectified. So when you meet a guy that you like and then, you know, you meet his really good-looking girlfriend, you're just like, oh, fuck. God damn it. Shit. Piss. Fuck.
It's really late at night, so I don't know if I understand this part of what she's trying to say, but my interpretation is she's saying when you're a girl and you see someone you like with a hotter girl, you're like, oh, I admit it, I'm just not as hot as her. I think that's what she's saying, right? So basically what she's saying is women are honest about looks. So if she's not in league with her crush's current girlfriend, she'll admit it, be like, fuck, you know, I am just not as hot as her. I have other things to compete against her, but I'm just not as hot as her. That's my interpretation. Tell me if my interpretation's wrong.
You don't hear us moping around about how nice we are and how good we can cook sandwiches and shit. No. By saying the nice guys finish last, it's a fucking cop-out way to not take responsibility for any of the reasons why a girl might not like you. You can finish first. All day, every day, all the time, for the rest of your life, if you just find someone that likes the same stuff as you do, that you have shit in common with, that you can fucking hang out with.
But here's the problem, Jenna, and this goes back to what I mentioned before. Just because you have things in common and you're both nice is not enough, right? Because there's looks and money. Even if it's not her top 2 priorities, it'll be 4 or 5. So this is too simplistic of advice, because for a man to really attract a good woman or whatever woman that he has commonalities with, he has to work so hard. And you know, some men think it's worth it. Some men think it's not worth it, but it's their duty. Other men say, fuck it. Other men will never get there because of their ability, etc., blah, blah, blah. But Jenna's not given a real red pill response to this. Jenna's taking a very blue pill thinking and given another more blue pill thinking.
Don't use this nice guy thing as a crutch for you to stand on, all right? Be a man. You gotta stop forcing relationships. If someone doesn't want to be with you, then they don't want to be with you. Just be like, cool, see you never, bye.
That's probably the best piece of advice she's given in this talk, which is walk away. Don't be afraid to walk away. This goes with relationships, friendships, jobs. Unfortunately, because of unhealthy families too, but especially with dating and women, etc. This is such a great piece of advice. if it's not worth it, if it's not working out to the way you want it to be, where it's mutually beneficial and it's win-win, let's assume that's what you want, walk the fuck away, or else you're gonna be taken advantage of, and it's gonna be some sort of parasitism.
I know it's hard to find someone that you like and that likes you back and that you can hang out with and be yourself around. But if it was easy, it wouldn't be any fun. And then you wouldn't learn anything about life either. You'd be an idiot.
There are people who claim that arranged marriages were actually the happiest. Arranged marriages, as in it was so easy, the children didn't even have to think about it. Because the reason why it was happiest was because instead of all the time spent and the money and the energy wasted trying to find someone, and when you think you find someone, trying to court them, etc., instead you guys agree, let's be together and then let's work on it. So the fun is in working on a relationship for the rest of your life. You know, this type of maturity is just not in society anymore. And I'm not saying it's a Western versus Eastern or African thing. It's not in any society anymore because of media. You know, we've all been brainwashed by romanticism. I guess you can say it's very brainwashed, because we've been taught that the chase is fun, the courtship is fun, when in reality the pleasure is, once the love chemicals go away, how do you form a family? How do you raise a healthy environment for children and grandchildren and a family legacy? That's all gone for most of society.
And you also wouldn't know how awesome that person is if you didn't spend a long time fucking sorting through these dickheads trying to find them.
Oh, Jenna, I thought you were better than this. Are you seriously telling the women that watch your channel that they should ride the cock carousel for a while? Yeah, you'll ride the cock carousel and eventually you'll find someone who, you know, is better for you once you're done riding the cock carousel. Is that really what you're saying, Jenna? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying. You have to kiss a lot of frogs before you get to the prince. Or you could be more cynical and say, you kiss a lot of frogs until you hit the wall, and then you go for the prince. Or maybe she's addressing men in this. You have to be screwed over by a lot of women before you find the one. Is that what you're saying, Jenna? So you're telling men, hey, yeah, it's just inevitable. You just have to get hurt a lot and just be fucked over by women a lot. You get why men are walking away from all this? If this is the advice you're giving, you know, a lot of people look up to you and you're giving people this advice, Jenna, come on. This is why people will listen to me, fucking me, for saying, look, just walk away from this. Do your own thing, build your own legacy without having it tied to a female. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to build a family, but you know what? Families are broken.
Do me a favor. Don't ever make that excuse again. Just be like, you know what? Fuck. I'm gonna stop trying to have sex with people's dogs.
What in the world? Why is she... This is like the second time or the third time she's mentioned having sex with people's dogs. Like, who are you dating, Jenna?
And getting people pregnant, and, you know, maybe I'll get a job and find my own apartment, and then I'll find a girl that likes me.
Again, you're just giving arbitrary standards for women and men to judge each other on. I mean, I come from a culture where sometimes the guys don't leave the house until they get married. Or if they get married, they might even move back into the house so the parents can help them raise kids. All these, oh, you have to get a job, you have to do this, you have to do that. Come on, Jenna. That's not the root of the problem. The root of the problem is that, unfortunately, our society is not favoring being in slutty relationships or marriage. That's the problem. So making men feel a certain way because their condition does not meet the ideal criteria, you're not diagnosing the problem. And maybe this video wasn't intended to diagnose the problem. This video is just meant to be a fun rant. So I think I'm just thinking too deep into this too. But if you live with your parents and you're happy living with your parents and you have income, you know, your parents, as long as they're cool, what's wrong with that? Most people don't want to live with their parents even if they're working because they can't stand their parents. But I know a few people, they live with their parents and they're happy with their parents. They're pretty traditional families. One family's an Amish family, so the daughter's best friends with her mother. Can you believe that? The other family's very traditional, and the daughter's just not very smart. She's a nice girl, but she's not very smart, so she kind of just likes her family helping her fend for herself.
Once you do that, That milkshake will bring all of the girls to the yard. I promise you.
You're going to get a lot of angry people who will come back in 10 years, say, Jenna, I listened to you, but I'm either in a relationship and miserable, or I still can't find the right one, or I'm divorced, or something. So, guys, and women too, but since my audience is mostly guys, do your own thing. Everything you want to do in your life, go for it. And if that includes females, yes, but just know that takes up a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money. So think about all the other stuff you can do. You can probably do it, right? You could probably do it all. But if you put relationships in there, probably half to 3/4 of the stuff on your bucket list will never be done. I'm just telling you, because energy-wise, you won't be there. Health-wise, you won't be there. Money-wise, you definitely won't be there. And it's a choice. I'm not saying one's better than the other, especially if you're an audience member of mine that lives in a country where you can still kind of have a good family. Maybe it's still worth it. But just think twice, man. Be rational about it. Some of my female coworkers are like, Jerry, man, sometimes you have to trust your emotion. Yes, sometimes do trust your emotion. If you feel like it makes you happy or to trust your emotions, do it. But you know yourself better than I do. And ultimately, we just seek to learn. We seek to get better at what we're doing. So that's my final thought. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was the funnest one I've done. Jenna Marbles, if you see this, you inspired me. You were the one that inspired me to vlog. So thank everyone. And press a like, press subscribe, etc. It's like 3 a.m. So if I sound a little tired, I am. Okay, talk to you guys soon. This will go up very soon.